guys, what's up? I'm Palak Lakhani. In this channel, I make educational videos focusing mainly on studying, working, and living in Germany. So if you are new here, consider subscribing. So in today's video, we have Ellipse with us. She recently got her visa approved from Delhi jurisdiction and she is currently in Berlin. So she will be giving us a detailed insight about her experience of VFS Delhi. So let's get quickly started with today's video.
Right.
Hey Lips, first of all, welcome to my channel.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello. Could you please introduce yourself to the viewers?
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Ellipse. I'm a first year Master of Public Policy student at Hertie School in Berlin. I applied from New Delhi jurisdiction in the New Delhi Visa Application Center on 17th of August. And I got a decision from the embassy on 15th of September. And I got my stamped passport on 22nd of September, and on 29th I was in Berlin. So around 35 days for the entire visa process.
When was your visa appointment scheduled?
My visa appointment was scheduled for 10:30 a.m. on 17th of August, and I booked the appointment 3 days in advance. Because of Corona, everything was like closed, and on 13th, if I remember it correct, I could book the appointment for 17th of August.
Okay, that's good. So when did you reach the venue? Did you reach early, like 30 minutes or 20 minutes early, or how was it?
I reached 25 minutes in advance, which was not required because it's too sunny in Delhi and standing in queue is no fun. So the recommendation would be to arrive 15 minutes in advance, and then you stand in queue, and before 5 minutes of your appointment time, the security guard lets you in. So 10:15 would be good if your appointment is at 10:30 a.m.
Okay, great. What things did you have to show to the security guard, and was your mobile and other electrical items allowed to take inside?
So I was asked to show the VFS confirmation document for appointment, and the security guard asked if I had already Arogya Setu app installed in my phone. So I already had it. They just look at it. Like, not even safe or unsafe does not really matter. You just need to have the app on your phone. And electronics, you are definitely allowed to take your mobile with you. What is not allowed is pen drive. And in case you are having pen drive or any other electronic items, there's a place where you can deposit all your things, but it just takes away additional time from you. So better to carry only your documents and your phone.
Okay, that's good to know. So where did you go after entering the main building?
VFS Delhi is actually Shivaji Stadium, which is like a metro station. So you take your regular metro station, X-ray and your hand sanitization, all of that happens, and after that you take the elevator to the down or basement kind of floor, and then there are some security guards appointed who can actually show you in case you need to know where it is. So the security guard is there, and then there is a passport collection center that you actually pass. You take a left. There's a coffee store, and then at the entrance you need to show your documents one more time so that they can verify if you really have an appointment. In case they do not have your name on their list, you still need to be firm and tell them that VFS has actually given you an appointment, because sometimes there is a mismatch between the list that the security guard has and your appointment. For example, my name was not there on their list, so I kept on insisting that I have an appointment and I need to go inside, so please let me in, and I was allowed. and inside you have different colored lines in case you want to follow the blue colored line or red colored line, which takes you directly. Those are basically directions to lead you to the visa application center. So that's one way of following, or ask anyone, and it's very simple, like nothing to panic about it. And in case you are not on time, say for example instead of 10:30 you arrive at 10:45, it's not a big deal, because anyway after entering you have to wait for a really long time for your turn. So don't panic in case you are a few minutes late.
Okay. Which is normal in Delhi, I guess.
Yeah, everywhere in India, Indian Standard Time is very different from world time.
Yeah. What were the next steps that took place once you entered the building?
So once I entered the building, I was asked to wait. Some of their systems were crashing, so I was made to wait for around 1 hour. And after that, one of the VFS agent, she checked both sets of copies that I had brought with myself, and fortunately or unfortunately they did not want to check my originals. They just checked if all the photocopies were in order, and they wanted 3 additional documents, which were the experience letters from the 3 organizations that I had worked with. I had got the originals, so they took photocopies of them, did not charge me a penny. So that was nice of them. And yes, after checking all the documents, arranging them in order, they fixed my passport size photographs on both documents, one on each set of copies. And they also had given me a form which basically had 10 questions in each of the form. Basically it was one form which you needed to fill to show your intentions are right to study in Germany. So yeah, you fill in the same answers in both, and then it is attached with the copies that you hand it over to the VFS or the embassy. And after that I was asked to wait for some more time, and then I was allowed to make my payment. And if people are paying by cash, they are sent to the cash counter, and then they get their bill. If you're paying by card, that happens right at the place where you're submitting all documents. And after that, the final step is biometrics. And yeah, so basically 3 steps: submitting documents along with filling in the forms for your intention of studying in Germany. Second is payment. Third is biometrics.
Okay. What were the questions that were asked to you by the visa officer?
So the visa officer did not ask me any question. It was just the form which had like 10 questions. Some of the questions were, one interesting question was, write the summary of the last story that you read in English. Do you know of an English author and summarize a plot of a story? That was one question. And other questions were like, why do you want to study in Germany? Why do you want to do this course in Germany and not say in US or Canada? Or what was the medium of instruction in your high school? And one important question would be, if you had a gap after your previous degree and the gap was longer than 6 months, you need to explain what you are doing over the course of time between your last degree and until now. So that is one important question that you'd perhaps like to think about. And another question was name 2 researchers in your field, in your own field. So yeah, you can, like, I think this question most of the people would know because they're going to study abroad, but say in MBA and other things, perhaps they would not really know a researcher. So yeah, it could be like you can give the names of your professors in case you do not know any researcher. So that would also make sense. Yeah, that was it. So you need to write this in 2 forms, the same thing.
But from the questions that you mentioned, I can say that the VFS has not changed the questions for past 3 years.
Yeah, that's true.
I was asked the same questions in 2017.
Okay. Okay, I think it will last for another 20 years or 30. Yeah. Who knows?
What are the recent changes that have been made in the block account amount?
So when I applied for an appointment, during that time there was no mention of any change in the blocked amount on the embassy's website. So my documents, everything had 853 euros on it. But when I got the decision email from the embassy, it was mentioned in the email that the blocked amount has been increased to 863 euros. But the email did not say anything about bringing this like updated document along with me. So when I went for VFS stamping, I submitted my previous document with 853 euros. But in the meanwhile, I had already contacted Expatrio for an update in my blocked account. So that was done in 2 days. But it was okay to submit the previous document and not really change it. But I would recommend you to like start with the process, because for residence permit it is not allowed, like you won't get a residence permit if you don't have an updated blocked amount. For visa it might be okay, but for people who are applying this month, it is in their best interest to go with 863 euros. Like no matter what the website says, or no matter what says, what anything else or anyone else says, 863 is the updated amount, and everyone is getting the same email from my class. So yeah, it's an easy process to update, nothing to worry.
Okay. You also mentioned that there were biometrics taken, right? So what biometrics did you have to submit?
So biometrics basically means all the fingerprints, first for these fingers and then like this. So it's all done. Okay. That's a matter of few minutes, but sometimes you have to wait longer, because in my case, their biometrics system, everything was crashing and it did not work for 1.5. So that was another problem.
Okay. Good. Do you need to be physically present for getting your visa stamped?
After you receive the decision email from embassy, you have to take an appointment, and it is very easy to get an appointment, unlike the main appointments where you do not get any slots for months together. For stamping appointment, it's very easy to get the next day's appointment. So you reach there with a few documents, which is your passport, 6 months travel health insurance, a blocked account document. The fourth thing is certificate of admission, unconditional certificate of admission, and I think I also submitted the physical presence letter. So 5 documents in all you would need that for your stamping, and they will tell you that in 7 to 12 days you will receive your stamped passport at your residence, and courier service is compulsory because of corona. So I received my stamping after 5 days of my stamping appointment.
Okay. Last question, what was the total amount that you had to submit in this entire process?
So for when I submitted all my documents, the processing fee of the embassy and VFS, in all it was around 7,200 approximately. And for the stamping appointment, it was like I paid 971 online while booking a VFS D visa stamping appointment, but then you have to pay additionally 526 something for the courier services. So approximately around 1600, and I would recommend everyone not to pay for the SMS fee, because you do not get a single SMS and you have your visa at your home. Even then there is no SMS or any update from the embassy or VFS. So it's a total waste of money if you're paying 111 rupees for the SMS service. So better avoid that. So 1500 to 1600 will be the approximate amount that you would be paying for the stamping appointment.
Okay, great. And were you provided the option of launch service?
I did not opt for the launch service because it was unnecessary. You can, like, I think it's, you just get the same. Perhaps someone comes to you and helps you with your documentation and everything, but I did not really see the necessity of paying additional money just to wait and someone helping me out, because anyway VFS people are going to help you no matter whether you have opted for this extra premium service or not. Yeah, so I don't think it is necessary at all.
Okay, great then. Thank you so much, Ellipse, for this
Thank you for having me on your show.
Welcome. all the viewers who have any further doubts, you can post them in the comment section below. I or Ellipse will try to answer your questions. And if you really like the video, then do share it with your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. So that's it for this video, guys. See you in the next.
Bye bye.